Right, turn 13 then, unlucky for some. Not that much of an eventful turn. He attacked in a few places. He attacked a little bit in the north, he attacked a little bit in the centre, shifted people around. Spanish continued to pull people north into sort of Wellington's right flank, and there was a little bit of movement and attacking down this end as well. So let's zoom in and see what we have. Okay, so he's moved troops forward to counteract this threat on the north. As always, going to start with some artillery, see what we can see. That cavalry's all the way over here now, and there's 500 of them. So I'm going to have a go at them with artillery, hopefully deplete some of their numbers. Not too bad. Spanish seem to have broken, all 800 of them. These guns... No, what I might do is sacrifice the shot and just bring them round to bear a little bit better arc of fire on this turn, so we will do that. Other artillery we've got over here. We are bringing these horse artillery batteries forward to deal with this cavalry in the woods. It's probably our best bet. But we have got some batteries on the high ground remaining, and they can see these bricks up here. So we go at them. These heavy guns, can they see anybody bunched up? Not really. The range is starting to increase a little bit now as he's bringing people back into the woods, although we can have a go at them. These guns up here, what can they see? They can see that cavalry, a nice target. We've got a battery here. They can see troops down here, they're bunched up, nice target. These guns here, again, where's this cavalry? It's Spanish, so I'm not, and it's not the Carabiniers, so I'm not too worried about them. And these guns in the corner, we've finally broken the somersault by the look of it. Don't really see anyone, so they can see these guys are all disordered. Sorry guys. Okay, we've got some guns here. That Spanish cavalry must have broken it because it's scarpered, and by the look of that question mark there, annoyingly they've gone behind us, so we're going to have to go and try and deal with them potentially. But that's the kind of thing we've got a rearguard of cavalry for, so we've got the Chasseurs de Cheval. We can go and send them on a quest, if you like, or a mission to track them down, possibly use some of these Nassau infantry as well. So this cavalry up here, sorry, artillery, they can see these guys that are broken as well. Gonna compile to their misery. And we do have some troops in some good order there, fairly good order in line. Can't see them though, annoyingly. Not the best place for that gun, I must admit. And that's the only cavalry we've got. So having a look in the centre, we're trying to steady up this front line here. An awful lot of troops, those guards, they could come back and bite us. Still got the numbers, even though they're disordered. But we'll have a look when we get to them. We're going to keep that line steady just because we have troops recovering. And we're going to continue here. We've sort of split them almost now. And we've got the guard in amongst them. We do have some dragoons there. But I'm going to start up in the north as always. So we've got a routed group of skirmishers, and we can have these Chevaliers come and deal with them. Can't charge because they're not facing the right direction, but hopefully there's a chance. I doubt it will overrun them. No, none of them. Okay. Let's get these skirmishers sorted out first. Bring them. Their parent units are quite far away. What are they? 9, 96. So they are skirmishers for them. Just so we can try and see what's in this gap here leading down to the woods. Can't see that there's anything there. Don't have full line of sight, so there might be something waiting for us there. Bring it to this high ground up here. That's a little bit better. So there's only a skirmisher back in about there. Skirmish unit back in about there. Make sure you see what we've actually played with. Bring these guys up as well. We captured that supply wagon last time. Going to bring it back into a bit of cover. Push out some skirmishers. I'm not going to bother with those Brits with these skirmishers. I want to advance as much as possible with them. He's got all his supply wagons in one place, so potentially skirmishers can just take over them and cut off this supply. What do we got here? Put these into line formation. And who's got the most numbers? So definitely the buffs there. And we'll fire on the buffs in volley fire. And also, same again on the buffs. Take that many of them. But we did take quite a few. Carry on bringing my cavalry down. Be able to take that victory point, not quite enough movement points. But bring all my cavalry over the road and on my right flank to protect my right flank and cut off Wellington's line of retreat. That would work better in real life than it would in the game, doesn't it? It's a little bit meaningless in the game. We'll deal with these Berkshires in line again. And they're side on, so hopefully we'll get a few. 22, not too bad. Bring these guys up in the middle. Fast moving caught me out with the pathfinding. And what have we got here? We got some broken Spanish troops. A lot of broken Spanish troops. And then behind them, 700-800 Brits. Not guards. Not King's German Legion, just foot infantry, I think. So we've got this cavalry here. We need to get these guys into square because they will cut them down, even though the cavalry are disordered. We've got skirmishers on the flanks. Why did I fire on myself? Not paying attention. Bring some supply wagons forward. Now I don't need to bring them forward too much because we do have one in quite an advanced position that we captured. What I will do is bring my cavalry round to the west a little bit more, down to the river. Can we go out of the way? Yeah, there. Bring him down there, and advance with this cavalry here. I'm going to put them in line and fire on the Spanish. Just to try and reduce their number, just in case they sort themselves out. And do the same again with my line troops there. So that skirmisher, this is the kind of thing that you've got to watch out for. We've got Victor there, you know, a core commander, with a supply wagon, 2 vulnerable targets, and if that skirmisher sorts himself out, he could eventually come and overrun them relatively easy. So, okay, it's my fault for leaving him unprotected. But I am going to move him just out of the way a little bit and bring up some cavalry just to protect him a little bit. Can we get forward more with him? No. Here we got Duncan with some Connaughts, and can they charge? No, they're disordered, as are they. These are not all disordered. We will have a go at these dragoons from behind in line though. Too bad. What have we got here? Some King's German Legion, I think. So I'm going to bring them up. Run out of points, so we can't, but we can bring the main body. And fire on them in column. Who's got the most? Definitely the 7th. So we'll have a go at the 7th. And this cavalry, ideally, mind them out of the way actually. Just so they can try and get in some sort of semblance of order. So Latour Marlborough, with your guys, you can have a go at these rifles. That should be fairly easy pickings. I'm going to leave the 3rd Brigade out, just because they're disorders, we can't charge with them anyway. And the man himself is going to lead home this charge. Going to make sure I've got enough numbers now. And also charge with the 26th Brigade and 3rd Brigade and get them in charge There can be no doubt now we have to win this one, sure. We did indeed. So we got some broken Prince of Wales Irish here. I'm not going to attack with disordered troops, but the ones that can fire will fire. Got Lee's 9 troops are going to have a crack. And there's still 300 of them. And what are they? 2nd Brigade, 1st Brigade. Yeah, we're going to bolster that attack. Excuse me, bolster that attack and take them off of that high ground. That would be potentially quite a nice place for our horse artillery, should we not put it in the woods. So, they've had a go, they've fired. They haven't fired, they will now. And they're going to lead home a bayonet charge. So we did get them out of the way that time. It's disordered, so they can fire on their flank. The plan can stay where he is. We've got those Dragoon Guards, the scariest cavalry, probably, on the field at the minute. Even worse than those Spaniards. What do we think now? So they have fired. We can bring them forward and don't have enough to put them in square. But we can have a go at the back of the Spanish. Of course, we see the Spanish back, quite a common sight. And I'm going to leave those guys there just because they're actually quite depleted. They're quite blown, so I'm going to have to think about maybe just rotating them out of the line for a little bit. Sort themselves out and get some fresh troops in there. I'm not going to put them in square. Okay, and then have a go. Just chipping away at these cavalry. That's all I can do until I get this horse battery up. These 2 batteries of horse artillery. And how am I going to do that? Where's the best? So it's quite open there. They have fired. They have moved them up. They're disordered, but they can still have a fire. Do we have enough to unlimber? No. And I think we'll bring them down this way because I want them in the woods ideally. We're going to steady this front line, not going to push too far forward with it. Just until that northern flank actually catches up a little bit. We can come down on the main road. Get some supply there. That cavalry can cross over here. I'll bring this cavalry down a little bit. I can't spread them. We've got this battery here. We can always forget about this one. What can we see with them? All these troops bunched up in the woods. Not bad, that one. Quite like that battery. There's one battery here. I can't remember quite which one. It's constantly accurate. It's fantastic. Same as guard artillery. If you get hold of some proper guard artillery, it's the best artillery in the game by far. Anyway, we're digressing. So, I'll keep these guys here, keep this line here. And what have we got? So, we're going to... These poor Somersets, they can't really go anywhere. They've been fighting almost from the start. And they are broken men. There's not a lot of them. We've got a leader there, and we're going to try it and press home that attack. Surprising, we didn't actually push them. But never mind, they're not really going to cause us any harm. Bring them on the flank and just keep chipping away at them. Remember, we're actually trying to destroy their army, so I don't have to advance anymore if I'm actually having an effect and being able, like in this situation, to actually dwindle his numbers down, and there's not many of them left. We've got a unit here, and we'll have a go with everybody in there, in column. I managed to take 8. Our Polish on the road, they're going to have a go at, who's got the most troops there, at the Queen's Germans. Not a bad volley. We've got a skirmisher there, come forward to the river. Now we did say we want to have a look and get that supply wagon out of the way. That question mark means there is some Spanish around. So let's scout them. There we go. Exactly where we thought they would be. So they're routed. Our cavalry aren't in charge mode. However, those cavalry, they could go anywhere next turn. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to have a go with my cavalry. I know I don't have a leader there, but I'm going to have a go attacking them from behind from the high ground just to make sure they stay routed. Yeah, I'll take that. We're going to dwindle their numbers down, but they're threatening these supply wagons, or potentially might threaten these supply wagons. Leave these guys where they are, bring these guys forward on the road, put them into line. These guys, skirmishers, can push out into that gap. Put these guys in line, my favourite Germans. Put the garrison troops in line, firing skirmishers. Again, I'm going to hold this line pretty steady until people recover and it sort of calms down in the north and settles down a bit. Again, into line, fire on these Brits from behind. Fire on the Spanish. Awful lot of volley fire going to hit them on this turn. They look like Marines, and the Spanish are going to cover it as well. Again, they're going to hold that river just because we've got absolutely nothing in between us, but then they have a gap as well. Right, so we moved everyone more or less up there. What are all these routed units? Probably skirmishers. Yeah. So Jordan, do your stuff. Go and sort these skirmishers out. Try to sort these skirmishers out. Okay, hopefully they'll sort themselves out a little bit and we can use them to protect that battery, just because it's sort of low risk, and then we free up our last line brigade there. Right, so we then get into Talavera, where it is all kicking off with the Spanish. So what have we got? We got our foot dragoons down here, or dismounted dragoons, and I'm going to carry on with my hussars out to the east to pick up the road there and protect that road. We've got some dragoons here against some Spanish Cossacks. I am going to charge. Not the most ideal situation to charge in. However, one of the squadrons can charge, whereas the other one can just sort of melee. But we're in obstructed terrain, so we can't. Tell you what, we're still going to have a go because we need to try and clear a pathway for our dismounted dragoons. Our family is there as well. Didn't really work. So they're stuck on the outskirts of the village again. Not to worry. Got that disordered square there, and we had a go last time with the guard. But the rest of the guard are also going to come in on this time and fire on them. Hopefully, with the guard, destroy that square. Now, one problem we have is this unlimited artillery here. Now, it's not force artillery, but if I attack that square, it's going to leave me open to them turning that gun round and me having to play hide and seek with that gun, especially with bunched up troops. But I'm going to continue being aggressive and press home my attack. And they are Spanish. That square, I would have thought it was broken now, but they do have some numbers. Mind you, so do we. Well over 1,000 troops there, but we are quite blown. So, plan B, probably withdraw them next time. And possibly over here somewhere and have a crack at these Spanish troops down there if I have to. We will see. Right, what else have we got? We have 700 Burgos troops and we've got 2 disordered units there. So I'm actually going to pull them back a little bit this turn. Our Germans have got that cavalry. Sometimes we can attack cavalry in column as long as we're not in obstructed terrain. Can't remember. Not going to try it. And then these guys as well. Just sit it out a turn or two until you lose a bit of fatigue, especially you guys, and getting a little bit more of an order. So 700 troops there. So everyone's disordered here, and my German troops are disordered. So it's not that easy going because of the terrain, quality of troops that I've somehow ended up with in my centre, I'm doing in the sector, and the sheer number of Spanish troops. I mean, they're not that good, but there's a lot of them. Some guard troops, somebody's had a go at the guards there. We'll go into line with these guys. We'll go into line with you guys as well, and you became disordered. Quite rare for guard troops to do that, but they're subject to disorderment checks, same as everybody else, I suppose. And we're going to bring these down to help the attack on the east outskirts of Talavera as well. Leave our cavalry where they are for a second, but I will bring my dismounted dragoons up to the side of these troops up here. Almost surrounded them now. I will move these guys out of the way and bring these guys, hopefully they're going to undisorder. Just because if they then move into that hex or that hex, we've got a good chance of being able to flank them and charge them. So, that's it done in the south, that's where we stand in the south. That's our attack in the centre, we're trying to steady up our line a little bit until this flank attack actually comes home and presses home. Let's have a look at our numbers then, see where we're at. Crikey, we have lost almost 2,500 now and 253 casualty. The Allies have taken a hell of them, 900 casualty, 38 guns, and we're on for a major victory, and we still haven't taken a victory location yet. It's all about destroying his army, remember. Alright guys, I will catch you on turn 14.